Good evening. Welcome to the Toon Review on a Monday night. It's a news show. However, there's not a lot of news to talk about, but we will try and do our best, myself and Stato. But if you are new to us, hit that like button. It's really, really important to us. And then hit the subscribe button also. It's free to do so. And we are heading for 32,000 subscribers. Memberships are also available by clicking the join sign. And also Super Chat's available by clicking the dollar sign. If you do that, it will be very much appreciated. Stato, how are you, my friend?
Terrible, because I can't get the under-21 stream to work. Very frustrating. Logged in, if I click watch, it just takes me straight to a screen of how to watch all 6 Newcastle United's pre-season matches. Well, that's done now, so I'm very frustrated with it. Very, very frustrated. So if anybody knows how to get the stream working, because I don't get a chance to watch the under-21s very often. So
I got it on mine straight away. I don't get it. It did send me to a register screen, but I'd already registered, and it just took me straight through to the screen. So, it's just a typical app shite, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Angry with that.
Who we got in the chat tonight? John Rowlands, Barcelona want Gundogan off the wage bill, 150k. We've taken 2 and a 3. But we don't need him. We've got, haven't we? Midfield goods galore. Last thing we want is another one. When we need a centre half. Of which there is news. Apparently, we are linked to Liverpool centre-half, left-back, right-back, jack of all trades, Joe Gomez. What are you thinking, Stato? Is Joe Gomez at 45 better value than Mark Gahey at 65, do you
think? It's hard to say. I've not watched an awful lot of Joe Gomez in recent times. What is he now? 27? He's on 85 grand a week. He's still got 3 years left on his contract, which is mad considering he's always been a rotation player for them. 6'2", right-footed, very versatile. He did get a lot of minutes, to be fair, 2,300 minutes.
Yeah, but most of that was full-back. Yeah, right-back, left-back, everywhere, but I don't think he played much centre-back.
To be fair, in the Premier League, it was only 1,786 minutes, 17 starts. Nah, he's never gotten more than 22 starts in any season with Liverpool. So it's interesting. His data is really good, but it is as a fullback, so it's a little bit inflated, and it's in a very dominant side in the league as well. But he profiles well. It is tricky to know if he would be a good fit. Is he an instant upgrade on Fabian Schär? No. He's obviously got a much higher skill ceiling. But Joe Gomez is going for the sort of price that Mark Gahey should be going for. Gahey's a 45 million pound player on average. Yeah. It's just all the other factors inflating all the prices, like the armband for Palace and the Euros and things like that.
I've got a super chat, 20 Norwegian kroner from Jens Halver Antonsen. Stato, he said, I was able to watch from app and all okay. That's great to know. Stato really enjoyed that bit of information. I'm a fan of Gomez, I have to say. I've always been a fan of him. Really good player. Really, really versatile. It's no coincidence that whenever he's fit, he does get picked in the England squad. But I think his injury record does kind of worry me a little bit. I don't know if you're able to get him up on your FB ref and what have you. We can have a little look if you can. I think injury record is pretty poor. But he is a fantastic player. He's got pace. He's very calm and cool and collected. Right back, left back, 2-footed. Here he is, Mr.
Dave.
Just Dave. It's not even David.
Dave. Joe. It's funny because it's Joseph, so it's the full Joe, but it's half the David.
Maybe it should be Rodney instead of Dave. Anyway, born in Catford, London.
6'2", right-footed, 27. So this is like peak age. He really should be starting wherever he's playing, and he's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he does need to move away. Of course, all of his data is as a fullback.
Yeah.
Which Oh, excuse me, everyone. Which is essentially what we wouldn't want to sign him as. It's nice that he could cover that, but we don't want him as a fullback. We would want him as a centre half. So this is kind of irrelevant to a point. I mean, yeah, he's profiling like meaty fullbacks essentially, and it's not who we'd really want. Let's go and have a look. How did the Wolfsburg game end in the end? 1-0. They won. I was looking at Maxence Lacroix's game because that seems to be the hold up with Mark Gahey potentially. So let's do Joe Gomez.
While you do that, I'll just announce Trulls has gifted 5 Toon Review memberships. As always, thanks for your generosity, Trulls. Really, really kind of you, sir. And if you do get one of those memberships, be sure to leave Trulls a thank you message in the chat. What we got here then? Oh, it's mainly England. Although he was substitute preferences for England, wasn't it? I mean, 6.5 against Sevilla in a friendly.
Ooh, I'm muted. Oh, I've just restarted my phone and it's still not working. For anybody who wants to see, by the way, guys, on my phone, there's the little screen. And if I click watch now, it just goes straight into please go and watch our pre-season games. It just won't go to a play screen of any description. I am logged in. So quite frustrating, considering the app's only just released and we've got issues with it straight away. There have obviously been issues with people, some of people's streams in pre-season, so it's something they definitely need to get right if people are paying money for certain things.
100%.
Of course, this is meant to be free, but even so. Now I've got feature coming soon. Please stay tuned. Fantastic.
I've been playing for 20 minutes.
Anyway, Joe Gomez, I digress. He played against Seville. I mean, I don't think it's going to give us data on this. Oh, he didn't even start. Oh, well, we don't care then. He played in the warm-up games for England. Meh, not overly bothered. So again, this is potentially him playing as a fullback. You've got a 3-3 draw against Villa, in which he played as a left back. Again, how much can we really take from that? I mean, a bit, I guess. Quite offensive, to be fair to him. 4 out of 6 ground duels, tidy on the ball, a couple of long balls, a couple of shots as well. Yeah, fairly solid. I mean, he's if you want to use him as a fullback in today's game, he's got that umph of a centre half, but he's okay. I just think it's really pricey. I think there's a lot of players out there that are as good as Joe Gomez that won't cost half as much. I just think it's a massive outlay. I'd rather go for somebody like Joe Gomez, but who's 22, 23 years old, who's not even going to be as much money. This one, I'm not so sure about this one.
I tend to agree with you, actually, that the age thing is what would put me off, and the injury record, which over the years has been pretty bad. But as a quality player, he's definitely one of those. But
I mean, we can have a look at the.
I think last year was probably his first season for a long time that he's not had many injuries, but in the past, definitely loads.
Right, so Joe Gomez. Let's have a look. 15 caps for England, born in London. We know that bit. That's fine. Apparently plays across the back four. We have seen that. Current rumours, apparently none, according to Transfermarkt. Well, that's definitely not true. There's been lots of people linked with him. Wasserman, as well as the agency, we know them. We've dealt with them before. Current market value at 28 million. He's got citizenship from the Gambia. Is it not just Gambia? Is it now the Gambia? I didn't know that.
The Arsenal, the Villa, the Gambia.
Well, apparently. For people trying to post links, I don't think it lets you post links in that chat, by the way. So people saying they've got a link for it. What do you mean you've got a link for it? It's on the app. How do you have a link for the app? So I don't think he's worth... I mean, is he worth 28 mil? I guess he is. I guess in today's market, 100%. 30 mil for his experience and the fact he's 27. Yeah, he's PK centre half. I don't know. I just feel very meh by this kind of transfer. I'd rather we didn't go here. I'd rather we went somewhere else. Maybe somebody slightly
younger,
slightly cheaper, younger. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you have permission to put a £2 super chat in, Alex, I'll put a link in the chat for the under 21 game. Well, I'm not sure we can, unless you've done it in the WhatsApp group, of course. Trolls has gifted another 5-2 memberships. Really, really generous of you, sir. Our favourite, well, one of our favourite Norwegians. And if you do get that, as I said before, please give him a thank you in the chat. Let's do some comments. People are saying they want Chalobah instead of Gahey. Would that work for you?
Yes. That's one of my picks is Trevor Chalobah on loan for a year, so we can revisit this topic next year. If we can't get our number one targets, then 100% go for a loan, and then revisit it next summer. We could potentially get a decent right wing in this summer and put the money elsewhere. So, and there are definitely other options on the market. You've got, I mean, would they loan Gomez? Maybe, maybe not. Trevor Chalobah, potentially they would loan him in for us. We did that with Lewis Hall. They were open to that with us. So why not again? We've done recent business with Chelsea. And then you've got Matt Hummels available on a free as well. There are options. There are options for us to kind of steady the ship for 12 months and then revisit this topic next kind of July, I guess.
Yeah, just kick the can down the road a little bit, and that will help us out with FFP as well, and potentially allow us to spend some money on a right winger. However, Federico Chiesa has been linked again today, hasn't he? No chance of him playing for Juventus, Thiago Motta, saying he's not part of their plans. 20 million euros buys Federico Chiesa at this precise moment in time. We know about his injury record, but he's someone that you'd be happy with us pursuing.
Who's that?
Federico Chiesa.
Sorry, my attention is divided because I'm trying not to throw my phone out the window. I'm really frustrated that I can't watch this game. I don't get a lot of time in my personal life, and I would like to watch, or at least have this on in the background. Infuriating. They need to get somebody to fix it. I know that I appreciate that it's working for some people. I don't care. It should work for everyone. It's just an app. Everybody else's apps work. Do better. It's really annoying. Chiesa. No, I'd rather move on. The fact that no club seems to want to touch him is a big red flag, and there is an enormous injury issue. So, concerning.
I mean, you're not the only one getting the app heebie-jeebies. Ali B's another one. The app's given the unexpected issues. So it's not just you. Waldriff Clips had to reinstall it to get it to work on the app. Maybe do that. I don't know. Asked me to log in, logged in, got straight. And that was the same as me. Right. So Chelsea have agreed a deal with Joao Felix. He's a wide player, isn't he? He's not really through the centre, is he? He's more of a wide player. So could Madueke be another one that's on the way out of the door? I mean, how many wide players do they want for?
Well, the fact that they've got Nkunku, Neto. I mean, I don't even know. Could we bring up Chelsea's squad now? I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point, isn't it? What's the best score? Maybe SofaScore. Chelsea. I mean, this might not even include everyone. The fact that they've got Esteval to come in next year as well is just ridiculous. So forwards on the books, you've got Lukaku and Nkunku, Jackson, Gui, Broja, Angela, Gabriel, Fofana, Neto, Washington, Kellyman, Tyreek George. And then you've got Joao Felix to come in as well. And you could argue that some of these players are forwards as well, especially
Cole Palmer,
Cole Palmer, Mudryk, Sterling. I would say these three are forwards as well.
Yep. Madueke.
They're wingers. They count. You can't just put centre forwards up there only, because a right winger who plays off the striker isn't a midfielder. It's just not nowadays. So most of these could go up there as well. It's too many players. It's too many. And the midfield is getting stupid as well. I mean, I think does Cassidy play out wide? I think he does as well.
I think he plays out wide. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
So that's Cassidy, Sterling, Mudryk, Palmer, Madueke, and then Neto. I mean, Neto's, I would say, more of a winger than a striker. Angela Gabriel plays out on the right as well, because we profiled him a lot when he was still in Brazil.
Yeah.
There's too many. There is too many. So someone's got to go. You can't have all of these people on the bench for a year. It doesn't make sense. But the problem is with Madueke is he's contracted until 2030 with the option for another year. So I don't know. I just don't know with this lot. It's, I mean, just look at it. It's stupid.
Ridiculous. How are they getting away with it?
Ridiculous.
That's the point. I mean, apparently the Gallagher deal's back on again now because Atletico Madrid will have the money to spend on him once Felix has gone the other way. Great to see Sophia in the chat, and as was said last night, and I didn't see it Saturday, but well done, Sophia. You've beat the Big C, and we're really, really proud of you and pleased for you also. So fantastic news that we've all rejoiced in over the past couple of days. Really, really pleased for you. So Chelsea, just a packed squad with players that some of them have got to leave at some point, you would think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they're going to need to shift some out. I mean, there's been rumours and noises of Raheem Sterling, and our name has been thrown into the ring. I was going to say hat then. No, ring. He's been thrown into the ring, pulled out the hat into the ring. Yeah, I don't know. Raheem Sterling.
325k a week.
Let's have a look at the change. Oh, bloody hell. I mean, that's it's quite a lot, isn't it?
I mean, these Chelsea contracts that they were dishing out last year and the year before and this year, these 8, 9 year, 7 year ones, it's going to bite them in the arse, surely, if they're trying to sell players with contract kind of valuations on them. Because people aren't going to pay, are they? And then if players have to leave, they'll want the contract paying up. It's going to cost them a packet. I don't think Todd Bowley's thought it through.
I've got loads of people sending me
links.
No, sending me screenshots of it working for them.
I've showed him already. It works for me too.
Yeah, that link doesn't work either, Martin. No worries. Anyway, Raheem Sterling, let's talk about the topic at hand, because we do have nearly 1,400 people in. So let's give everybody our undivided attention, even though the under-21s game is having some technical difficulties, everyone. So middle name Shaquille. Didn't know that. I mean, you learn something new every day. Raheem Shaquille Sterling is on... Well, I mean, we've got to start with this, haven't we? In fact, I'm going to zoom in on it even more. Oh, that's as far as I can go.
I think that rules out full stop, doesn't it? I think he's not going to come for much less than... Even if he had a wage decrease of 75,000 to 250, I don't think we're paying anywhere near that. So...
It's mad. It's mad. But again, there's no point in you having 2 or 3 players that are just not going to play. They've got to do something with him. And if they can make some money back, why not? But I guess the issue now is still we're a rival at this point in time. Trying to finish between sort of, I mean, I guess third and maybe 7th is what we want, really.
Yeah.
Somewhere between top end of Champions League places and inside some kind of European place. So I think somewhere between 3rd and 7th. I don't think anybody on the board would expect us to title challenge at any point yet. I think 3rd would be the best we could ever hope for, and 7th would be the minimum we would want. It'd be frustrating to get any lower than that, because then we're kind of dropping out of European football, really. And Chelsea are wanting the same kind of things. They want to get back into a minimum European football and try and get for the Champions League. So loaning somebody like Sterling would really supercharge us, because it would be a better player for our squad. A lot of people saying that he's, he might be done. He's still a very good player. He's very, very good.
He's a fantastic player.
I know a lot of people don't like him, and I get it. He's a character. He's quite a unique guy. But he's very, very good at football, and he's very technical. It does give us a different option. So he does only have 3 years left on his contract. But again, it's the wages. If Chelsea would let us sort of pay 50k a week towards that, we might take him. But, we ain't paying. We're not even going to get towards half of that. It's too much.
Because even if we do, we'd then have to give Bruno the same money and et cetera, et cetera. There's,
Well, I'm not sure that would trigger upon a loan. Potentially not.
No, maybe not on a loan, no.
But he's still got...
Newcastle beaten the 1-0, by the way.
Oh, lovely. Missed a goal. Fantastic. Anyway, Progressive carries is still phenomenal. 89th percentile, 5.45. He'd be great in counter attacks. He'd be great at just any kind of wing play, a different option for you. Of course, he's missing some of the height. But let's not forget, even if you maybe don't imagine him as the biggest presser, let's not forget what he did at Man City. So he was part of that Man City team that used to strangle teams, never let them have the ball. They would win the ball back. He was part of that system for quite some time, and he was good at it.
100%.
You cannot, even if you don't like the guy, you cannot say he wasn't good in that system at getting that ball back. He's good at professional fouls. He's good at robbing the ball back and being annoying. He's definitely got that in his game. Regardless of what you think of him, he did it for a long time. And he wouldn't have to play all of the time. Ideally, we want him on the pitch as much as we could ahead of Murphy and Miggy, I would imagine. I think he used to play a lot more on the left, didn't he, though?
I thought so.
He is right-footed.
Yeah.
So, again, he doesn't have the history of playing as that inverted player on the right because he's right-footed. So let's have a little look. How does he profile nowadays? I mean, most of his own teammates, to be fair. Who have you got? Garnacho, Mudryk, Rafael Leao, Kvaratskhelia, João Felix, Martinelli. I mean, this just proves it. Whether you like him or not, the company he's keeping in his stat matches and the fact that he's decent. He's still great at carrying the ball forward, 2.5 shots a game, great ball carrier, experienced. He's won, I was going to say everything there is to win. He's not won the Champions League, he left, but he's 4-time Premier League champion. And he's not over the hill yet. I still think he'd... And by the way, guys, I'm talking about if we got him on loan. So I appreciate a lot of people are talking about maybe stay clear of him, but it's not for a permanent transfer at all. It would be for a loan. If we needed to go big on defenders and we needed something in, then again, I do think we definitely need to explore the loan market this time round. It would be beneficial, I think.
A lot of people say no to Raheem Sterling. I mean,
would you prefer him to Miggy?
Well, exactly. He's better than Miggy. He's better than Murphy.
Where's my transfer amount page gone?
But he is left-sided for me. He's better on the left side, Kernin, which is what he's done for England mostly, what he did for Liverpool mostly, and what he's done for Man City mostly. And he's hardly featured for Chelsea, has he really? But even when he has, he's always been on that side.
82 caps for England with 20 goals. Officially a left winger by trade. Was he actually born in
Jamaica? Yeah, I think so.
He was actually born in Jamaica. I thought he was born in England. There you go. If maybe he could ask for special dispensation to go play for blimmin' Steve McLaren. You can have Hayden and Raheem Sterling. Although I don't think he'd get there now. Apparently, his highest market value is 160 million. Jesus.
Yeah.
Currently rated at 35 mil. Has played all across the front line. Interestingly, his player agent is relatives still. That's an interesting one. Okay.
How much did he go to Chelsea? 40 million? It wasn't a lot, was it?
56.2 million euros.
Quite a bit then.
So 45, 50.
They'd have to sell for a lot less than that if they want to get rid of it. If they really want to get rid of him.
Well, they won't get rid of him, will they? It'll be a loan, I would imagine. Or he just sits there and they try and rotate 5 wingers in the same position.
Unless Saudi come in for him, of course.
Yeah, I could see that. That could be a move for him potentially. But I think he's considerably better than Miggy and Murphy across a 38-game season. I think you're going to get more goal contributions out of him. For people saying why did City offload him? Well, yeah, but we're not in the Man City position right now. We're not trying to go for 90 points and win a treble. We're not even in Europe this season either. So we need floor-raising players and ceiling-raising players. This guy is a bit of both because he raises the overall quality of our squad and he's better than Miggy and Murphy right now. And he's a winner. I'm not against this. If obviously we could get him for the right price. If we could get him on a loan and basically pay sod all towards his wages, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, me too.
However, I think the likelihood of that happening is
Zilch.
pretty close to 0. So it's kind of a waste of breath for all of us because I just don't think it would ever happen anyway. So,
Right, some news that I've not seen, but Bruno Guimarães has now been announced as the captain of Newcastle United, as team captain.
as the club captain,
well, not as club captain, but
I thought it was
wherever
just as
he's playing,
the on-field
he's gonna be
captain.
Yeah, so that's come from Sanjay, it's come from Fabrizio Romano and Craig Hope also. So it seems pretty official. So whenever Bruno plays from now on, he's going to be captain.
Well, it was needed, wasn't it? I mean, we mentioned this on the Southampton review. It doesn't need to be Dan Burn. Dan Burn is already basically a captain of that squad. He's a leader. Everybody will look up to him and speak to him and respect him as though he's a leader. But I think it means a lot more to Bruno. And it's good for us. And he's a good leader in himself as well. That's why he's been put into the leadership group. I've got no problem with it. I think it's great for keeping him motivated and happy in the squad and at the club. It would definitely help with keeping him as well. So,
I mean, he's a pretty emotional character, but can you imagine him lifting the FA Cup for Newcastle at Wembley? How would he control him? It's just, well, I don't even want to think about it because I'll get back into that Amanda Stavey tweet realm again. But God, what a player to have as your captain lifting the cup. I can't think of anyone better, I'll be honest.
I agree. Although Murphy would be quite cool. There was, I don't know if people remember, when we played a one-off fixture against a club in Saudi a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And we got given a trophy for it. And Murphy was running around kind of showing off the trophy. It was quite funny.
Talking of Jacob Murphy, Bernsey, Ben, who's a friend of the channel, has announced, I don't know if he's sure or not, but Jacob Murphy's been promoted to the Newcastle United leadership group.
Oh, really?
I don't know where that's
Well, we'll have to wait and see if that's confirmed by Eddie Howe. I'm hoping that they will ask him that in a press conference.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I tend to see him as a bit more of a comedian of the group and just a jack of all trades, workhorse, but the funny guy. I don't know. Again, I don't know the inside of the squad well enough or the dynamics. Who am I to say? But from the outside looking in, I feel like it's more of a, he's more of the, I don't want to say the clown because I feel like that's disrespectful because I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I mean it he's the joker in a fun way for everyone. So I don't know if he'd be great as part of that leadership group. Maybe. I mean, it'd be great if they could ask Eddie Howe these questions because I'd really like to know the answer, especially from Howe because he's very good at talking about these kinds of things.
And it appears that we may soon have a Brazilian sister club start. I don't know if you've known this, have seen this.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Kev Lawson has retweeted Brazil Football, who say Vasco da Gama is negotiating the sale of the club to the Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund, according to Radio TUPI. They own Newcastle United and invest in the Saudi Pro League. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't Vasco da Gama that weren't they owned by that Everton group, 777 group?
Potentially, yeah, I think they were. Potentially, yeah, and that's pretty what they want.
I mean, it would be great to have a club in Brazil because then we would start to have links to coaches, agents, the league, the loan system. It would start to get a lot more interesting for us because look what Chelsea are doing nowadays. Like it did look like we tried to dabble in that market and we couldn't. You know, we went for Angelo Gabriel. Well, we were rumoured to have scouted Angelo Gabriel extensively. And who was the other guy that went to... He went to Chelsea and they loaned him to Forest.
Andre something, wasn't it? Was it Andre?
What's his name? He's not even in the bloody squad list for him.
Is it Andre Silva? Or am I making it up?
No, it's not. Come on. Somebody in the chat help me out. It was... All right, it will come to me. I'll have a look. I don't know why he's not in their squad list. Maybe he's been loaned out again or something.
Anyway,
Santos. Andre Santos.
Andre Santos, that was it. Yeah.
Why is he not in their squad list? Or what have they just pretended he doesn't exist anymore? Like, where is he?
So, further news on the Bruno. So this is from Craig Hope. Bruno Guimarães is now officially the new captain of Newcastle United Football Club. Jamal Assal's has now relinquished the captaincy and was given the title of club captain in a newly created role. Kieran Trippier remains vice captain.
Interesting. I can't find him on SofaScore either. Not SofaScore, on on
I
transfer.
mean, he must have
Trying to see where he is.
Must have gone somewhere, surely.
Can somebody put out some missing posters for Mr. Santos? Is he
Milk
transfer
cartons,
marks?
milk
Doesn't even
carton
let you
pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's astonishing. That I mean, he's a good player as well, isn't he? I don't think
must have
Forest really used him very much either, did they?
No, I don't think they did. Andre, it's because he's got a Y at the end of his bloody name. That's why he's Andre with a Y. He's at Strasbourg, so he's on loan at Strasbourg for a year. Interesting. I thought he was going to be fantastic when he first came to the league, and I think he struggled a little bit at Forest. He was at Strasbourg the back end of last season as well. Oh, I've completely missed that. I can't keep track of all their players, to be honest. I'm constantly looking at football, and I do a YouTube show with you guys, and I still can't keep it with Chelsea. It's gone beyond that now. Even their players. To be fair, my barber did want to give him a shout out. Because he was quite impressed that I talk about him sometimes in terms of my pool of Chelsea fans that I know. So my barber is a Chelsea fan, and he said to me he can't keep up with it either. He's a fan. He's dedicated. He goes to Stamford Bridge. He doesn't know who some of the players are. He's forgotten who they've signed this summer. He can't remember who's. I was speaking to him about this Esteval. He's like, I can't remember that one. I'll have to go look it up. I've forgotten. And he knows his stuff as well. So they can't keep up either. They're just getting lost. And it almost feels like they're losing the soul out of the club. It really does. Even some of their fans are getting a bit disillusioned with it. It's just getting silly.
It really is. We've got some super chats to go through here. Charles has been member for 31 months. He says, what's the address to get to see the under-21s? It's on the app, apparently. For some people, and for some people it isn't.
Oh, what, the app that doesn't work?
Yeah. And we've got a 10 Singapore dollar super chat from Keith Lee. He says, in my opinion, Howe should have sub Gordon instead of Murphy after sending off. Or he should sub Gordon for Willock instead of Barnes as an outlet. Barnes thrives when we dominate, not backs against walls. Yeah, exactly what we said last night, wasn't it? I agree with that, actually. That's a very, very good post. JT Toon says, what happened to Marcus Leonardo? We were linked a couple of years ago. I don't know.
Didn't he go to Benfica?
Yes, he did.
I think Marcos Leonardo was his name. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to Benfica. It was cheap as well. I think it was like 20 mil or something. He was very highly rated. Yeah, he's at Benfica. And it was for 18. I was close. It was about that. And he's not doing fantastic at the moment. He's doing okay. He's doing all right. We'll have to have a look.
Apparently, people are saying if you go direct to the website, you may be able to watch it better.
Are they showing it on the website, are they?
Apparently, according to Reed Caboose has said it, and also...
No, it just tells me to go download an app.
Does it?
I don't really want to. I want to watch it on... Why can't you just have it on the web? They're just forcing people to try the app out that's not working. I'd rather just be able to watch it on... Can you not just put a link on the website or on the YouTube channel or something?
I saw that, Tom. Tom Lynch has said that they had a blackboard advertising the game Chelsea vs Man City yesterday. A pub in London somewhere.
Oh, I saw that. It was fantastic.
115 players versus 115 charges. There it is here, look. Hilarious. Very witty. Love that. Love that. There's also issues about season tickets, apparently, that Tom mentioned. People with iPhones, the season tickets are disappearing.
Yeah, I mean, I can try and find the supporters trust thing. So essentially, I think what the advice was is to go into your e-wallet. So this is for people, by the way, with season tickets, the digital season. Oh, I think they're all digital nowadays. That have disappeared out of your wallet. If you've had this problem, apparently it's because it's hidden it or it's in your expired passes. So go and have a look in your settings of your wallet for hidden passes or expired passes. I think the advice was. Yeah, so here you go. I've got the tweet from the Newcastle United Supporters Trust. If you want to put that up, Billy.
Yeah, 100%. There you go.
So yeah, we're aware that for some season ticket holders, their season ticket is no longer showing in their wallet on their phone. We would advise that you check that your own is still showing. If not, you will need to go to expired passes on your wallet and then click unhide. So that's the advice from the Supporters Trust. So hopefully that helps you out if you were having problems with it. And I'm surprised the club didn't officially tweet out as well. It seems like that's one thing I don't want to lose too much, is that they seem to only tweet about big, exciting branding opportunities where we need some kind of fan interaction. Is it just all going to come from the Supporters Trust now? Or, I'd recommend people maybe go and follow them on Twitter if you don't, because they do give you some advice on like match days and tickets, and if things are going wrong or you're not sure. So it's a good account to follow, I guess.
This is another super chat from Trolls, 50 Norwegian krona. He says, "Why are we keeping Dubs?" He labels him the Dutch hooker, and selling or loaning out Oddie. From what I read, it's insane. It's a strange question. Which one of those two? Kind of, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. Personally, I'm very confused by this. There's been quite a few people that have basically stated that Vlachodimos is not good enough, and he was just part of a PSR deal, essentially. I really was hoping that wasn't the case. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. This is somebody who played for Benfica for a number of years in the Champions League. He won a league title a couple of years ago as their starting goalkeeper with 34 appearances. Benfica had a couple of deep runs in the Champions League. No doubt he was part of that as well. This was a couple of years ago. Is he really suddenly, 2020, at the end of mid-2023, he lifted a trophy in Portugal and he was part of Champions League teams who were doing quite well. All in what, a year? Is he suddenly not good enough at all for the Premier League? I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. I'm shocked by this personally. I'm shocked that Dubravka was on the bench against Southampton. I appreciate there's some people saying he's in the shop window. I don't know how you can be in the shop window if you're on the bench. Maybe it's a bit of mind games suggesting to others and other suitors that we think he's the second choice. But bizarre. But yeah, people saying he was low down in the pecking order for Forest as well. Yeah, I appreciate that. But at the same time, he won the league. At the end of May 2023, he was lifting a trophy, and they were doing good runs in the Champions League. How do you go from that to just can't get in any team in the Premier League? I'm not saying he's got to be starting, because Nick Pope's fantastic. Of course, it's Nick Pope all day long. But how is this guy not good enough for a second place? How is Dubravka first? With some of the problems that we had with Dubravka in goal last year. Yeah.
That's a good point from Matt. If that's a deal, Anderson 35 million, Oddie 20 million, that's really, Forest only played 15 million for Anderson. That's ridiculous. I tend to agree with that. And how did Matt Salks keep him out of the team then? If maybe he has lost it, we don't know, do we?
Well, Matt Salks isn't as bad as people give him credit for. He's a Premier League standard goalkeeper. He got a lot of hate unnecessarily. He's not good enough for what we want now. Not even close. But he's an okay goalkeeper. I mean, there he is. There.
I guess he's improved over the past 4 or 5 years. He was awful for us in the Championship, but he went away and he's worked, and now he's in the Baltimore squad, isn't he? So. It's I guess it's improved.
I do have one thing to mention, Billy, is I have recorded a new Patreon podcast for us. It was what we were talking about yesterday, about an update on Guehi and the other centre halves. So that will drop 8 p.m. So basically when this finishes for everyone. So that is an update on the Guehi situation as it stands and the other potential candidates. So we revisit looking at Malik Chor, at Logan Costa. What's the current situation with Fabian Schär? Is there anyone else? Maybe loan options. So it's just basically an update on the defender dilemma. So feel free to check out the Patreon if you do want to listen to that and get an update. There will be more on there. There's historical podcasts. We've got match instant reactions as well. So a lot more to come from there. So I think the link is somewhere down there.
Yes.
I think Paul stuck it somewhere in the description. So feel free to just go and click. We may get to a point as well. So feel free to go and even if it's not paid, we are going to get to a point where we're doing many podcasts per week. So we may do a free roundup one for people on the Patreon, and then all of the other ones are all obviously going to be paid for the people that kind of commit to that. And you've got to have a perk for paying and supporting us, so we do appreciate that. So please go and check it out, because we do want to make some more content, and that definitely help justify all the extra time me sitting in my office instead of being out eating dinner with the wife. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and if Tommy's in the chat, we'll have to get a historical villains one done soon. I think Michael Owen was the next one on the list for that. So that should be an interesting half an hour of criticising an awful, horrific person and player, actually. I don't know, never read him as a player, but there you go. That's hopefully coming soon too. People are talking about Chelsea a lot, and I couldn't understand.
Well, there's one thing I wanted to talk about, Billy, if you don't mind, is some of the dregs of the squad, and I mean that in the nicest sense of the word, but some players that aren't going to play, what are we going to do with them? I feel like it's a topic we need to revisit. One of which being Garan Qual. Can we get him out on loan, please? I'm guessing he's not already loaned, unless I've been under a rock.
I don't think so.
I know he's still technically here. So Garan Qual needs to go out on loan. Just
how old is he now? What's his age now? Is he 20?
He's 19, but his birthday's on the 14th of September. So he's going to be 20 years old in what? Just under a month?
Well, he's not even in that squad of that under 21s tonight.
Is he not?
I appreciate Trippier and Target are playing, but neither of them are in his position. So he's not in the squad. But apparently Trevor McDonald says he's injured, so that's why.
Well, he needs to go out on loan, and I'm pretty sure he's out of contract as well. So we need to do something with Mr. Garang. Who else we got floating around? Obviously, Ben Parkinson, for some reason on SofaScore, they've got in it as a defender. Ridiculous. Ben Parkinson, I personally feel like needs a loan to a League Two or a League One side.
I was quite impressed with him in the last friend he started when did the seller. Really impressed with his work rate, and okay, doesn't look like he's ever going to score a goal, but his work rate, he looks a bit quicker as well. With the last game, he was against Brest. I was quite impressed with him.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to read on my phone. I don't even know how nowadays. Just holding the power button, and that doesn't do it. Is it changed?
What, you want a Samsung?
Yeah. Yeah, I was impressed as well with Ben Parkinson's last kind of appearance, but there were a lot of things I wasn't too keen about in the summer. He definitely looks like he needs a loan. So I wouldn't mind sticking him in League Two for a season. Go and play 30, 40 matches with someone, with some men, with people who are more physically developed than you are, centre halves, so you can go and get into the rough and tumble and go and really learn proper football. There's nothing wrong with that. Elliot Anderson went and did it. There's no shame in dropping down to League Two to go and have a season. I think he needs it. Who else have we got on the fringes? You've got Joe White and Alfie Harrison, who, according to SofaScore, Alfie Harrison is the number 7, which, okay, fine, whatever. They've changed that from 48. So Harrison and Joe White, loans, sales, keeps.
Well, with the emergence of Jamie Miley, I think Joe White certainly. I don't think he has a future. If I'm perfectly honest. Isaac Hayden's another one. Is he gone on loan anywhere? I think he's still in the squad, isn't he?
Not yet. So Fraser, Hayden, Alfie Harrison, Joe White, Lewis Miley, and Jamie Miley. Of course, I think we would all agree that Fraser and Hayden need to go, whether it's permanently or out on loan.
Yep.
Joe White, I mean, he's 21. He's 22 on the 1st of October, so he's not a youngster. He's not an academy player. When you get to 22 years old, you're not an academy player anymore. You're old enough to be part of that first team. Well, I say part of the first team. You're in that in between. You need to step up at that point. He did have a good loan at Crewe. We called him back, and he got a few appearances here and there. He is left-footed as well, which I forgot. What do we think? A loan? I mean, he's only got a year left.
Yeah, I'm guessing a loan. Yeah, I'm guessing a loan somewhere. But Championship maybe. Would we be?
I mean, we need to do
Is that
something with him, don't
over
we?
the top with him? I think Championships probably he'd be able to play there. No problem. Like you say, he's got minutes in the Premier League. So Alfie Harrison, another one, League One.
Does he stay with us and develop for another year? I mean, he left City presumably because he had aspirations for
First team football. Yeah.
well, I don't know, for an easier route into the first team, a slightly quicker one. So,
Yeah.
what's that? What does that involve for him? Does that involve being loaned out or being part of us for this season? Who knows? And having Lewis and Jamie Miley is a great problem to have. But I've really enjoyed Jamie Miley's performances in preseason. I think he's good. He's obviously not there yet, and Lewis Miley's got a little bit more in his locker in terms of vision and that little bit of pizzazz. But Jamie Miley is very focused and does a lot of the basics right. Doesn't look out of place. He didn't look too out of place in some of the more important preseason games. So those two, I mean, do they both stay in the squad for the season?
Potentially, although with Tonali back, I don't think so. I think one of them will go on loan. Whether it's Lewis or Jamie, I don't know.
Right. Who else have we got if we scroll down this list? Defenders. They've taken Ben Parkinson out of the defenders list now. They've just removed him altogether. Fine, whatever. Harrison Ashby, Billy.
Yeah, loan and hopefully sell him because although having said that, with Kieran Trippier, so we've got Crafter, haven't we? So definitely loan for him, yeah, no doubt.
Oh, it's fixed itself. I've just got we'll be right back now.
After these words.
Is that good? Is this going to work when it's? I'm guessing does that mean it's half time now?
It is half time, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm just not going to touch the phone. I'm just going to leave it. It's reset itself. Right, Billy. Sorry, Harrison Ashby. I do apologise.
Yeah, I'd send him out on loan personally.
What do we think about if Trippier potentially goes? Do we need to keep him around just in case?
Again, that's depending on whether we get into the centre half or not, isn't it? Because I mean, Emil Kraft can certainly sit behind him.
When's his contract end? It doesn't say. Can we check transfer marked? I can't remember how long he's here for because obviously we signed him as an academy player from West Ham. Oh, he's born in milk and beans.
His dad played for Watford, didn't he, for many years, Barry Ashby.
It doesn't tell us his contract length. None of the websites seem to have his contract length. Does anybody know how long Harrison Ashby's meant to be here for? Maybe 3, I would guess. Because of his age, it was maybe a 3-year deal. I'd be shocked if it was more. I mean, we didn't pay a lot for him. Well, we did apparently. 3.5 million euros. Thought it was a bit less than that.
Another one from Wasserman.
Oh, is he Wasserman as well? Dual citizenship as well for Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland.
As Paul James said, 2034. I bloody hope not. Because if it doesn't work, then
it's not Mark Ashley.
Right, yeah, I'd agree. Harrison Ashby, get him out on loan. Jamal Lewis, Billy.
The number 6, eh?
Oh, God, I don't know what they're doing in
They've got the Jamals mixed up, haven't they?
I think it's because I called them out. I called them out a couple of weeks ago that their squad stuff was just trash for us, and they've made it worse.
They have their Jamal L's mixed up quite clearly. We've got enough left backs, especially if Target's going to get to fitness. So another loan. When's his? I mean, he's on a Mark Ashley contract, so he probably has got 2 years.
Yeah, he's on a contract. He's on a contract. He is. I think it might be 2026. Oh no, it is 2025. So it ends
end of this season. Then.
So he's got a year left. Highest market value in his career was 17 million, and we paid 15. So we were basically there at the peak, and it has just plummeted for the poor lad. Yeah, bless him. 36 caps for Northern Ireland now. I mean, that's fairly impressive. Who's PLG?
Who they got?
They got Trent, Jared Bowen. Okay, they've got most of. I think it's the Scottish links potentially that do it for him.
Jordan Henderson.
It's basically all of that old Liverpool lot, plus some Scottish players. Interesting. I don't know if we've dealt. I've never personally had a look at this agency. I don't know if we've dealt
It's
with
a
them
shame
before.
because, do you know what? He looked pretty good pre-season, to be fair to him.
He looked all right. Yeah, he didn't look terrible.
But the fact we
I'm
have Lloyd
surprised.
Kelly, Matt Targett, and of course Lewis Hall, who's the number one, he's never going to get any minutes, is he?
Well, I think if Matt Targett didn't exist, we'd keep
Yeah.
Jamal Lewis and use him.
I agree.
But the fact that Targett's in the squad on money as well.
Yeah.
And I've had a few people bashing people on YouTube for suggesting he's on 100k a week, Matt Targett, by the way. So if you look at Matt Targett, I'm sorry, I'm not getting abuse from anyone that we're spreading lies. That is from Capology. Take it up with them. If you don't like the fact that it says he's on 100 grand a week, that's not my problem or the Toon Review or any other people on YouTube.
However, the Instagram address is quite strange, I have to say.
Yes, it does say Martin Stecklenburg on for his Instagram. So I think FB Ref and SofaScore need to fire some of their developers. I think they're all asleep at their desks. So some of this is a bit shady. But this has been on 100 for quite a while now.
Yeah, it has.
And he does only have two years left in his contract. I mean, for anybody who's watching the under-21s, how is Matt Targett getting on? Is he doing all right?
Dan Brown just said this, actually, strangely enough. He says that Targett looks like an old man on the pitch today, can't run at all.
He's probably knackered because Eddie Howe made him warm up for the entire match against Southampton on the sidelines. You probably couldn't see it on the camera, Billy, but Matt Targett was warming up the whole game, just constantly skipping.
He was chewing the back of a seat
on
the bench.
No, he was warming up for a lot of the game, to be fair. Who else we got that needs something? I mean, Alex Murphy is a fair one. What happens with Alex Murphy?
Yeah, I think I loaned for him. He's got all the potential in the world. He still has. He had an awful game against the All-Stars, Australian All-Stars, but injured, I think, at the minute. But the kid's got a lot of potential, an awful lot of potential. I think he's a hell of a player in the making.
I mean, a few people. I mean, I wasn't actually going to do Target, but a few people mentioned him. Could we afford to? I mean, if we're trying to get rid of Jamal Lewis, can we also afford to get rid of Matt Targett? What if we get really unlucky with injuries? We need the extra cover, really, don't we?
Well, if Stan Botman's fit, then you've got the option of Mr. Byrne at left back if we really, really, really had to.
Yeah, I guess we would have Byrne, Botman, Kelly all available at the same time, and Hall.
Yeah.
But I'm not over the trauma of last season. You know, if you get a couple of ACLs, I mean, we literally had a couple of ACLs with Botman and Lascelles. So, and then I do think there are more people. Oh, obviously, we do need to talk about one of the 5 keepers. We'll ignore Mark for now because apparently he just does what he wants.
He'll be here in 20 years. He'll be still there in 20 years on his Zimmer frame, organising the drinks.
Martin Dubravka.
I'm amazed that we haven't had any action on him, actually. But the club's been interested in him. Certainly ones, maybe even in his homeland or whatever, but if they are in his homeland, maybe they haven't got the money to pay for him. But I'm surprised no one's bit where he's concerned.
I think he's out of contract in the summer. God, he's 35 now as well. Yeah, so his contract does expire 2025.
What's he on a week?
I think he's on like 45, something like that.
So if we paid his defeats the object if we pay a contract off, doesn't it? I guess.
He's on 40.
40, yeah.
Apparently.
So it defeats the object paying his contract off.
But he's just old. I mean, he's nearly 36. He's old. Sorry for anybody who's 36 or over, but we're talking about professional footballers here and trying to get a transfer value for them, a fee of some description. For that context, he's old. Yeah, his contract was maybe a year too long for me. Yep,
I agree. Mark Ashley.
He did that with a lot of them, with Isaac Hayden and players like that. But again, we're getting on to what's the date today? The 19th of August. 19th of August. In 2024, guys, we are still holding on to Martin Dubravka, Isaac Hayden, Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser. That's 4. That's over 200 grand a week in wages of people that just do not play football for us and haven't really done for a long time. I mean, apart from Dubravka. And again, we don't seem to want to use him really. So, everybody with the old comment. He's old for a football player, okay, for a professional football player. It's too many players. It's so much wages. It's so much of everything just on the books. And
Club says I'm 36 with a sad face. I'm 50 pissing 6.
But it's these kind of things that really do hold us back in pushing in the transfer market. It restricts us with PSR as well. We're still paying for probably 5, 6, 7, 8 players until recently that just don't play for us at all. We mock Chelsea, but how many have we had on the books? We had Richie and Dummett as well on this list at the back end of last year that just weren't really ever playing. So, I have a stream, everyone.
Is it working?
It is. Let's turn it down so it doesn't pick up.
Well, we are at 8 o'clock, so we have virtually discussed everything we have to discuss. So I guess we've done almost an hour because we're a little bit late coming on.
Yes.
So I guess we've done all we've had to do, really, haven't we?
Well, we've had a nice conversation about the update in the transfer market and the situation of the squad. For people who don't know, by the way, I don't think we mentioned it. The Nottingham Forest game has been moved to August the 28th to the Wednesday, which means Sandro Tonali can play in that match. So fantastic news. It's been moved, so it's more favourable to us in the fixture congestion. We're midweek instead of on the Tuesday. Sandro can play.
Of which you'll be able to catch the live match commentary with us here.
I'm pretty sure it is on Sky Sports as well. So
exactly,
it is on telly, everyone.
You want our commentary, really, don't you? We are the best place for match day lives by a country mile, I have to say. But we have finished now. We are just about the hour mark. Thanks for your time tonight, guys. We're late on. Paul had a bit of an issue. He's not feeling too good today, but he'll be back tomorrow. If we have a show tomorrow, that is. But keep your eye on your socials for notifications and such like for if we do go live tomorrow.
And just for everybody as well, once it hits 8 o'clock, which I think it has done. So for people who are already Patreon members, there is an additional podcast which has just dropped live on there. People who do want to go and check it out anyway, there is a link in the description.
There is indeed. Thanks to you all for watching, and thanks to all of the people that have contributed with super chats and membership gifts, i.e. Trolls, who's been an absolute diamond tonight, as always. Thank you to the mods in the background, keeping the chat in check. Thank you to Stato. Most importantly, thank you to you lot out there for keeping faith with us and watching us every night we're on. We've always got at least 1,500 people watching for these weekly shows, and we really do appreciate it.
And make sure you hit the like button if you haven't on the way out. And if you're new and you want to come back, please come and hit that subscribe button because we do loads more shows.
We do indeed. And we shall see you hopefully tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, but certainly later in the week. But until the next time we do see you, have a really great rest of your Monday night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out some green.